Interestingly, ironically, whatever you want to call it, the World Trade Center just hired 2 weeks ago the head of the FBI's National Security Division for Counterterrorism in New York to augment and take over their security.
On August 22, 2001, FBI agent John O'Neill resigned from the Bureau, citing repeated obstruction of his investigations into Al-Qaeda. Former FBI Deputy Director John O'Neill wanted to investigate the terrorists who were planning to blow up the trade towers on 9/11, but he was prevented from doing so by President George Bush. Bush signed Presidential Directive W199I, making it a crime to investigate or hinder the operations of one Abdullah bin Laden in any way.
Bush had put limits on investigations by our intelligence agencies on investigating the money behind the terrorists before September 11th, because Saudi Arabia is the source of almost all the funding, and you could not touch the guys that were giving the money to make Al-Qaeda operate. Now, a lot of this, we believe, was determined in a meeting in Paris in 1996. The Khobar Towers were attacked within Saudi Arabia. 19 American military people were killed while they were sleeping. That was Al-Qaeda. Rather than go after these guys and capture them, basically went to them and said, how much does it cost for you to go play in Afghanistan instead, or in Uzbekistan? And by the way, it's not just paying them protection money to get lost. They actually wanted Al-Qaeda to spread the word of Wahhabism and sell to Central Asian republics the kind of vicious, small-minded, feudal state that they have in Saudi Arabia. Of course, Al-Qaeda's vision was that it's not feudal enough and it's not terrible enough. I even have the documents from the FBI, secret documents that were dropped off by FBI agents. This document is marked secret and WF, which means it walked its way out of the Washington Bureau of the FBI. It indicates that before the attack of September 11th, agents had wanted to question 2 members of a very powerful family for their connections to a suspected terrorist organization, Omar and Abdullah bin Laden. But the agents weren't allowed to. Now, what makes this family so special that they're protected from investigation?
This followed previous orders to abandon an investigation of bin Laden relatives in 1996 by Bill Clinton, and difficulties in investigating Saudi royalty. President Clinton was already hindering investigations by protecting Saudi interests during the 1990s. His approach to terror was weak. However, where Clinton said go slow, Bush policymakers said no go. The difference is between closing one eye and closing them both. No one would be allowed to pursue certain Saudis and Pakistanis, many of which were involved in the September 11th attacks. In Washington, politicians jumped to the claim that anyone harboring or supporting terrorists should be pursued. But when it comes to some powerful individuals in these 2 countries, a blind eye is turned. The issue rarely raised by reporters. Disgusted and angry at both the Bush and Clinton administrations, FBI agent John O'Neill ended his career by resigning office. John O'Neill was given a new career as Deputy of Security at the World Trade Center in New York City.